everybody. Welcome back to Wingman's Hangar, episode 23. If you're new to the show, this is kind of an inside look at everything Star Citizen, what goes on with the team on a week-to-week basis. Join us and subscribe to the YouTube channel to get the latest updates. You might miss a comm link, but we'll always post the videos on our YouTube channel, and you'll get a snappy update that'll tell you what's going on. And if you feel like it, join us in the chat roll. There's a lot of people that watch the show when it comes out live at 11 a.m. on Fridays, and they like to talk and chat and guffaw and see what the heck's up. It's kind of going to be a good show this week. We have interesting things. We have coming up this week, we have the Week in Review. We have forum feedback. We have Wide World News, which is kind of our look at things that are related to space and Star Citizen and sci-fi in general. And we have an interview with our own weather wizard and designer, Peter Mackay. It's going to be kind of a fun show. So let's get right to it. Here's the Week in Review. Well, we all know that I've been on a diet, right? Started out at 236 pounds. Last week, I made it all the way down to, yep, that's right, 215. I can't believe it either. So where are we this week? Yeah, only one more pound. I really got to start amping up the exercise to speed this thing up. At least we're going in the right direction. And by the way, I have to say thanks to all the support and private messages I've been getting. And a few of you people are out there doing it with me. You know, it really encourages me. It really encourages all of us to do this together. Because, you know, I've got my spaceship's got to be able to lift off the ground, right? And right now, it needs a little extra fuel. Right, so what happened this week? Well, we got some very interesting gifts, little sci-fi books. Well, take a look at this. All right. Oh, looks like we got some books from Amazon Prime. Thank you to everyone at Cloud Imperium for all your hard work. Here's some of my favorite space fiction for the office to share. Thank you for the great vision of the Star Citizen and all the glories to come. Tim Barone. Orson Scott Card. Isaac Asimov.
Good.
Oh, the Ender Shadows series.
All those people who are lame enough not to have read Ender's Game can get started now.
Nice.
Yeah, all of them.
We're going to add this to research. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Man, that is incredible. I have to, you guys send us the most amazing stuff, and we couldn't be more appreciative. Keep it coming, baby. Bring on the booze. Just kidding. Kinda. Anyway, it's awesome. What else went on this week? Chris was in Germany at Crytek. He was there visiting the offices and talking to the people over there and working out the technology side of things. He's been there all week and working really hard. He'll be here in Austin next week for some of the forum feedback questions, so get those in. Sandy was also out scouting for some fan events. Now that we're getting the Star Citizen cards arriving for everybody and the t-shirts, we're going to start having fan events around the world for you Star Citizen fans, for all of us to get together and hang out, have a beverage, and talk everything in Star Citizen and what you want to see in the game and what you don't want to see. And we might listen to that, maybe. And just get together and hang out. That's what we want to do. We're working hard on Jump Point. Jump Point comes out later today. You'll see that. It looks fantastic. David Lederman has done an amazing job along with the artists and everybody else that does it. We're preparing for our 24-hour live stream. What? That's my impression of Ben Lesnick during the last one. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you saw it, if you missed it, this is going to be a totally new one. We have a lot more to show this time. We're lining up a plan of action for the show. We'll be revealing things all during the stream. We'll be tossing back and forth with the different groups. We'll have different celebrities come by. I mean, celebrities being, you know, game people, which we like. And you'll be able to talk to the team. And maybe we'll have some Skype calls. I love doing that. It's kind of crazy, Howard Stern style, right? And also, this week, you knew it was Chris and Sandy's birthday. But one of the other team had a birthday, too. And so take a look at this. We sort of celebrated with a little adult beverage with your very own Mark Skelton. How you doing there, Mark? Looking like a good time. We celebrate our birthdays with everybody here at Star Citizen and Cloud Imperium. Very, very cool. Let's get right to it, shall we? It's time for forum feedback. From Sharkunis, he says, how will you deal with citizens that pledge for all digital versions and are therefore not able to show their citizens cards? Will there be an alternative way for us to get entry into backer events? No. I'm sorry. You've got to have a citizen card to get into the backer events. That's part of the deal. That's part of the reason to have one. And, you know, you know what? We might need some bartenders and maybe some people that can park cars, though. That'd be a real good thing. All right. Come on. No, of course you can get in the events. The citizen cards are there for us to show off and have fun with and show your neighbors, but every fan that's backed this game is important. You're all just as important as the last. So any of the backer events, I would suggest just maybe getting a printout of what's in your account and, bringing it in with you because you're welcome. We're all citizens here in the verse, right? Car parking. That's probably where I'll be after Chris sees that answer. Sorry. From Anxious Infusion.
Hello, Anxious Infusion here. Multi-monitor displays are popular for expanding in-game view. But some of us only run them for the companion monitor. Can companion monitors be used to display game information such as live maps or hit instrumentation?
That's a really good question. Like it. That's one of those things that we're looking into, but it's kind of like when you're doing development, you have a list of things you definitely are going to get to and support when you get to that point, and then you have a list of things that you'd like to get to. That's one of those things that's probably on the wish list that we'd like to get to. So I don't think that'll be there day one, but it is on the list of things we want to support in the future. From Unknown 3, is Chris Roberts involved in the actual monkey work, i.e. programming, modeling, etc., or does he delegate his vision to you saying, make it so, number one. Make it so, number one. Yeah, Chris is involved in everything. I mean, day-to-day operations, everything involved in the game. Chris is there. I mean, this is his vision. Make no mistake. This game, we're in charge of executing Chris Roberts' vision. He is all over everything from coding. He's actually coding some in the game too. From coding, art direction, design direction. This is a Chris Roberts production. I've done it before with him. Love it. The guy is amazing. We're all happy and lucky to be part of it. So make no mistake, Chris is involved in everything. Every single thing. From Razor Xerex, he says,
is there any concept art of flow pets? Can we have those pets in our ship chewing cables?
Flow pets. Good old flow pets. Well, while flow pets may be illegal in some quadrants, there is a rampant desire for them across the verse. If you take them as cargo, make sure they don't cause you any trouble. Trouble. Yeah, flow pets. From Fremen Warrior, love the name, assuming you can store commodities and ship equipment in your hangar, will those items have a physical presence there? Yeah, the goods you buy for your hangar are going to show up and appear. The hangar is supposed to be like a digital account. So anything you've purchased that has a physical presence will be in your hangar. You'll be able to see it. There'll be missile racks. There'll be, all kinds of stuff that you've put, maybe lasers, maybe you got different ones you want to switch in and out on your thing. They'll all be there. You'll be able to see all that stuff. That's supposed to be what your hangar is. Whatever you can outfit your ship with, you're going to be able to see it in the hangar. Think of like a World War II hangar where you saw all the bombs and stuff laying on the side, or the guns, the 50 cals, or whatever guns laying on the side, 30 cals. They'll all be there. Yes, it'll be there. So from El Presidente, he says, when the hangar module is released, then dogfighting, planetside, etc., will we be allowed to keep our assets and modules in the alphas that follow? Yeah, that is the idea. We're building the finished component. We're building the game like in a matter of components. Like you start with the hangar module, then you go to the dogfighting, which you enter from the hangar module, and then maybe planet side. You might have a door that opens up, and you get a visit with your friends, like in a bar kind of thing. So it's all going to be done kind of tinker toy together off the hangar module. Hangar being first thing until we get to Squadron 42, and the rest, which will be the bigger releases. From MWAG96 says, Forrest said that you'll be able to customize your ship and swap components in the hangar module. Does that mean we'll be able to buy more components for our ships? If so, what kind of components will be available? Well, you've earned some of the upgrades, like the repair bot during the campaign, and there's going to be a lot more available in the future. A lot of what's going to be available, pretty much, you got to look at it this way, right? The hangar comes out version 1, but it's not the complete be-all that end-all. That hangar will be constantly updated throughout the course of the development process with items and things of that nature. So we are now in the process of creating those lists. We know we have thousands and thousands of objects to make for just the ships themselves. So if you think about that, it'll literally be what is going to be available at the time of the launch for the hangar. And we've got that figured out. But then there'll be constantly influx of new stuff to put in there all along the way. So, and we'll be making that hangar a lot more fun. So version 1's going to be cool. You're going to love it. But then there's going to be a version 2, 3, 4 going on. This is a totally different way of doing it. It's modular development. We hope you like it. We think it's kind of cool. And from good old Kin Shadow, he sent this in.
Wingman, it's Kin Shadow again. I found my ship and I decided to take off this planet for a while and come back with reinforcements later for Ligante. Everything looks good, but for some reason I'm low on fusion coolant. I guess no matter. Real quick question. Sometimes I fly with some unsavory sorts and not too trustworthy. So I'm kind of wondering, is there any way for pilots to protect themselves from their own crew, to seal off the cabin or anything like that? Thanks. This fusion coolant keeps going down. Oh no, looks like I'm going down too.
Unsavory pilots, huh? I don't know what you're talking about there, man. Yeah, Kin Shadow, I love your videos. I love what you and Ligante have going on. I don't know if we're going to let you seal yourself in, per se, but it is going to be your ship, and we don't want people coming in, calling people to man the turrets, and then coming and backstabbing you trying to steal his ship. We'll have things in place to stop that. Maybe it won't be a cone of silence that shuts down, but we'll have some way to protect yourself. By the way, man, excellent video. Loved it. Now it's time for our own Brittany Godfrey with this week's Most Valuable Post. Take it away, Brittany.
Thank you, Eric. It's not every day that you come across something special, something that gives you emotion to remember or changes who you are for the better. It's certainly not every day that something comes along that has the same sort of impact on many people. These are the heartfelt words of first-time RSI poster JRound. He goes on to explain what Star Citizen means to him and what the efforts of Chris Roberts and his entire team mean to the gaming community. It's a great first post, and we encourage others to do the same. Thanks, JRound. You've made the most valuable post. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Brittany. And by the way, I must concur, that post from JRound was amazing. I read it, and it really touches exactly what we're doing here. Got to have big ups. I know Chris has read it himself, and those kind of things are why we're doing what we're doing, and we're touched that you guys feel the same way. So agree with that most valuable post by far.
Good afternoon. Or, depending on your worldview, good evening, good morning. Today's excerpt is an adaptation from Part 2 of Void Rats by Douglas Niles. The Void Rats were Naya Antoinette's first command, a wing of F-7 Hornets piloted by the best. Now they patrolled the asteroid belts of the Nexus system. The goal was simple: catch the slave ships. Naya's wing swept orbitward along the asteroid field. Scanners flickered briefly, a possible energy signal amongst the rocks. She manually angled her Hornet into a gap between two large asteroids.
Single file, people.
She kept her eyes on the space before her, feeling certain that had been a slave ship. Naya replayed the image of the contact on her HUD and noticed a telltale brightening just before the faint contact had ducked out of sight. That was certainly a large, fast ship, and could only be here for illicit purposes. A flicker on the real-time scanner, a heat signature moving deeper into the asteroid field. Naya steered after it, her section following close behind. She was closing now, and the scanner showed nearly a dozen thrusters bright on the stern of a target. A Cutlass-class ship. But still too far away for a visual. The Void Rats carefully narrowed the distance. The asteroid thinned, and the Cutlass broke into the open. Naya slammed her throttle forward. The F-7 leapt forward like a living thing. Lieutenant Jackson, leading second wing outside the field, called reassuringly, "I've got him on my scanners, and I see you. Skipper, look out!" A contact klaxon squawked. There's another ship here! Naya caught the image of an unknown ship, perfectly positioned for a flanking attack, and now closing on the Void Rats as they emerged from the asteroids and right into a kill zone. They were well and truly trapped. The story continues in issue number 6 of Jump Point. I'm Alistaire Sinclair Fitzsmithy. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night.
So now it's time for the Wide World News. Setting up a lunar base in the future might be a little more simpler with the use of a 3D printer. The European Space Agency is testing the feasibility of building a base on the moon by printing it layer by layer from the lunar soil. The base will be unfolded from a tubular module that can be easily transported by a space rocket. An inflatable dome then extends from one end of the cylinder to provide a support structure for construction. Finally, layers of regolith are built over the dome by a robot-operated 3D printer to create a protective shell. Back on Earth, 3D printing works by placing multiple layers of material, in this case common sand, then gluing each layer together by spraying it with a binding agent. Maybe we should try to print a 3D mocap studio. That'd be cool. And now let's take a look back in time with This Week in Space.
June 3rd, 1965, and Gemini 4 astronauts James McDivitt and Edward H. White II prepare to make history. Their Titan II rocket lifts them into a record-breaking 66-orbit flight, 4 days in space. While Gemini 4 is the first mission to perform many scientific experiments in space, its most important goal is the EVA, the extravehicular activity. It's their 3rd revolution around the Earth, and after struggling with a tricky hatch, White stands up in the tight confines of the cabin and is exposed to the vastness of space for the first time. Moments later, he steps out and floats away from the craft on his tether. A handheld maneuvering unit expels oxygen to propel White around the Gemini capsule. White completes a circuit around the capsule while McDivitt takes many pictures from the cabin. But time is running short, and a design error in the voice communication system has prevented ground control from speaking to the Gemini astronauts. Finally, McDivitt discovers the problem.
The flight director says get back in. Okay.
After a 20-minute EVA, White returns to the craft saying, "It's the saddest moment of my life." White would never return to space, as he was assigned as senior pilot to the ill-fated Apollo 1 mission. He and astronauts Virgil Gus Grissom and Roger Chaffee would die during a pre-launch fire aboard their Apollo capsule. Edward H. White II, America's first EVA astronaut, in space.
Our very own weekly weather wizard, Peter Mackay, has taken a break from reporting the weather because he's going to be a guest on this very show. We'll catch up with him in a moment. And that is your Wide World News. And now it's time for an existential break with our very own Mark Skelton.
So I wonder, do illiterate people get the full effect of alphabet soup?
If you have a hazy thought for Mark, send it in. We just might use it on Wingman's Hangar. Remember, keep it hazy and keep it original. And now it's time for our own Sandy Gardner as she interviews Peter Mackay.
Hi there, I'm here with Pete Mackay, customer service rep, and amongst very other important stuff. Hey Pete.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, I'm Pete Mackay, and I do a lot of stuff here. Do customer service. I do answer emails, forums, posts. I'm actually helping out on design. I do some production scheduling for the content that shows up on the website. Really, if something is happening here, I'm involved in at least some way. So it's just a lot of stuff.
Pete has been very, very busy with us. Can you tell us how you got here?
Oh man, I can't even believe that I'm here. Actually, if you would have told me, 2 years ago that I'd, one, be working in the games industry, and two, that I would be working for somebody I have idolized since I was 14, I would have told you that you were full of it. Like, there's just no way that was ever going to happen. Basically had a career that I was working at for 10 years, just decided it wasn't for me anymore, put all my stuff in a truck, and I moved to Austin without a job. I had a place to stay, but that was about it. And I have just kind of, I don't even know how I got here. It's just been a whirlwind ride of just meeting the right people at the right time. And when I heard that this position was available, I just jumped at the chance. I just jumped at the opportunity as soon as it was even mentioned.
Well, I did hear that you were going to come to GDC, correct?
Yeah, so before here, I was at Lightbox, and Lightbox is also in downtown Austin, and which is about 2 blocks from the convention center. And so I was going to come down to the announcement. I didn't know what it was. I just knew Chris was doing a new game, and I was like, oh, that's, he's announcing it like 2 blocks from here. I got to go to that. But I got stuck in a meeting at work, and so I couldn't make it. So then it just made the rounds at work, and, wow, that is awesome.
And when I was coming around to your desk, I saw this, tell us about, what is that?
Oh, my coffee mug. This is actually the first thing that I ever participated in Kickstarter on. This was done by another guy named Jonathan. I can't remember his last name, but the name of the project is Horror in Clay. And he just had this thing. He wanted to make a Cthulhu tiki mug and put it on Kickstarter. It actually did really, really well. He did, I can't remember the numbers, but he was just blown away by how well it did. But it turned out great, so it's probably my favorite coffee mug I have ever owned.
It's a coffee mug. That's good. It's a coffee mug. I wasn't sure what that was. But did you pledge on Kickstarter then?
I did, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, what'd you get?
I did the Scout because I wanted to go through and I wanted to earn my way to the top. Like, I wanted to, get there, experience the whole thing of, upgrading my ship and trading it in and getting something else, and just that whole character progression. I was really excited about that.
So did you see that little sneak preview on Wingman's Hangar? He just sneaked the Aurora.
No, I didn't.
You didn't
He
see
did?
it? Yeah, he did.
Oh, well, I'm going to go check that out.
Okay, I'm here with Pete Mackay, our customer service rep.
And here he is right here. Now, you guys know him from The Weather Wizard.
Yep.
I wonder if they've been tracking the beard, growing, it started out up here.
Should get a ruler and measure it for an
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, right. It's like a Jeb Stewart thing you got going on over there. So, welcome, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You're not starving for air and space or anything?
No, it's nice to not have to deal with that.
Now, you've had fair enough. Now, you've had an interesting journey here at Cloud Imperium. You came on. Just tell everybody how you came on. I mean, probably.
Yeah.
What happened?
I got a call from you asking me to do community management and some customer service work.
Yeah.
We
were desperate too, weren't we?
Yeah. And I didn't realize that until I got on and saw the amount of customer service work there was that needed to be done.
Well, we totally underestimated how much of an impact this project would have on the fans and how many people would want the space sim, and we were like, yeah. It was good that you were available.
Yeah, so it was, and this is, even before hearing from you, I had thought about sending in a resume because I really wanted to work on it. But at that time, I thought it was all in LA, and I was here in Austin, so I didn't think that would work out. So,
yeah, well, you were a Lightbox, right? I think we have 10 guys from the Lightbox that came over from there.
Yeah.
And we actually used the Lightbox conference room for the 24-hour live stream.
Yeah, that was really weird because we had all just been laid off from Lightbox.
Right.
And one morning I woke up and I just thought I would check the RSI site and see what was going on. It just happened to be the live stream morning.
Awesome.
And I turned it on and there was a Starhawk poster in the background and thinking, what are they doing in our conference room? And it was just like this
broadcasting.
It was this complete disconnect between what I was watching and just trying to, merge those two things that, Star Citizen was this other game. It didn't happen in the Lightbox office,
Yeah.
So that was a really weird moment.
It was. We were actually, and Dylan, the head of studio over there, is a good friend of mine, a really good guy, and they've made it through. They've got another project, so we're happy about that. But we'd actually thought about taking some of that space and cohabitating with him at one point. We thought we were going to be a small project going on for a while, and instead of this, we ended up being larger. And so the question, you've seen the lamp before.
Yeah.
Probably before any of us.
Yeah, I can't be 100% sure because I think there were 3 of that model in the office, but I had one of those on my desk. So the lamp may have actually been off of my desk.
You could be the originator of the lamp. It's now on my desk, by the way. So listen, you've had an interesting life. It says you used to rave as a club DJ?
Yeah. Started, well, it was kind of weird. I was always like the computer nerd out of all my friends, and I had some friends that started, clubbing and stuff. And they got into the production side of it and said, hey, computers, do you want to come do you want to VJ? Do you want to do visuals on projection screens? And so
that's cool.
I got into that, and so I would go and set up projectors with video games for people to play at the club and stuff like that. Yeah.
Video games?
Like Wipeout was a really good one.
Yeah, those are good games.
So
Wait.
How it started.
Wipeout? You mean like the TV show Wipeout?
No, like...
I was thinking Breakout. You said Wipeout. When I just said good game, I was thinking Breakout. Just want to be clear.
It's a racing game. It was
I know what you're talking
PlayStation.
about. Yeah, you're right. That was a good game. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not saying the other one's not a good game. For a disclaimer, this show does not represent everybody on Star Citizen. It's purely just my opinions. Sorry. So you also spent an entire summer working on some art car or something.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I just decided I want to go to Burning Man and met some people.
What is Burning Man? Tell folks what Burning Man is.
So Burning Man is this really cool, it's an art festival in the Nevada desert. Happens once a year. I think it's a Labor Day weekend is kind of when it takes place, and it's about 50 to 60,000 attendees, and I believe for that week it is the 3rd largest city in Nevada.
Is it really?
Yeah, and it's amazing.
And there's no drugs or alcohol consumed at this event,
of course,
right?
No,
it's purely a water only event.
So, but
I've seen some pictures on the Burning Man. That thing looks crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, one camp they build a Thunderdome out there, and you can go out and you can fight in the Thunderdome if you want, and people climb up on it, and
that is insane.
Yeah, but so we built this art car. It's basically a mobile DJ lounge with a LED dome. It has, I believe, 20,000 LEDs on it. They're RGB LEDs that animate. And I spent, 3 months every night, every day of the week for 3 months in the warehouse working on that car.
Were you happy with the result? Is it pretty cool?
It's amazing.
Do you have any video of that?
Yeah, there's a whole website for it. It's jellyfish12000.com.
Well, jellyfish12000.com. I think we'll actually show some video here. Take a look at this. And we're showing it while we're talking. That's pretty cool, huh, Pete?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
That's what you worked on, huh?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty neat. So it says you have a cat.
Yeah, I do. I have a hairless cat.
A hairless. Why would you get a hairless cat?
I always just thought that they were really cool.
What happened to the hair on the cat?
Just born that way.
He's hairless.
Hairless cat. Just had a friend who was like, I had some friends who are breeders. They're getting out of the business. They're looking for homes for their animals. I just said, yeah, hook me up.
So you have more hair on your chin than your cat has on his entire body.
Yeah.
Or his or hers. I don't know.
Yeah, she's got like a really light fuzz.
So you can pat her still and she feels...
yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she doesn't have... It doesn't feel like fur. She kind of feels like warm raw chicken.
Is that what it tastes like? So you're also a Freemason.
Yeah, I am.
What level?
Master Mason.
Master? You're a Master Mason?
Yep.
So if you're a fisherman, are you a master and you're baiting the hook? Are you a master baiter?
You might be. I don't know.
Now, one thing I really like is that it doesn't get any better, sorry. If you went to Jimmy Buffett.
I did.
You flew to San Fran, and you're kind of wearing it's kind of a parrot head shirt right there.
Kind of. It's some loud colors.
Well, yeah, but they're usually pink and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big Buffett fan myself, so
Yeah.
I've been a parrot head. I've been to 2 concerts. So, you went to San Fran though to go see him?
Yeah, I mean, none of my friends liked Buffett, so I was living.
What the heck is wrong with your friends? Man, Buffett's incredible.
He is. He totally is. And
mellow music.
Very and he's he sings about living the life, right? Like I mean, that's the most relaxed and amazing life I can even possibly imagine. I mean, for me anyway, you know.
Yeah, dudes in the islands sipping a margarita, relaxing.
I mean,
it's incredible,
it's great.
right?
But, you know, my friends didn't want to go, and I was living in Salt Lake at the time, and he wasn't coming on tour there. The closest place was San Francisco, so.
I think that's admirable that you went there. Now tell us a little bit about the charity. You're going to rappel down a 32-story building for charity, for Make-A-Wish, right?
Yeah, yep. So I am raising funds for this. Trying to raise $1,500.
Well, let's take a look at where you are right now. Take a look at that.
All right.
That looks pretty good, huh? We're doing all right.
Pretty close. I'm really close. As you can see, I'm at about 80% right now.
Yeah, a little more than that. Yeah,
a little bit more than that. So very, very close. But, you know, it's not just like a hard cutoff that I reach the 1,500.
Right, because you get more than that, it still goes to the charity. And
definitely.
If we get even more than that, Moreland goes.
Yeah, if we can get it up to 3,000, then Mike gets to go with.
Yeah, you know, and that could be the end of this show.
That's the Wingman's Hangar final episode.
Yeah, this could be it. So, and you know, you guys may be grateful for that. So, what's been the most difficult thing for you, or the most challenging thing you've had so far working on Star Citizen, or what do you enjoy? What are you working on now? Let's just make it that way.
Oh man, I love this. This is absolutely, not only was it my dream job, but it is exactly what I always thought my dream job would be. So awesome. Sometimes the dream doesn't match up with reality.
A lot of times,
and in this case, it totally has. So
cool.
I mean, being involved with the discussions and everything is just great. I mean, one of the things that is kind of weird is, you know, once you are on the side of creating something, you're not on the side of, I guess, consuming it and enjoying it as a, you know, from that
criticizing
side.
it or whatever.
Yeah, like it's a different thing, and so it's hard to I found anyway, like especially on like Starhawk, is that after working on something for so long, it's hard to enjoy it from the play side.
Yeah, you can.
But on the flip side of this is like getting to contribute to that totally outweighs that the other side of that.
Yeah, because actually when you joined us in customer service, you started out and Chris had asked you to do some stuff, and you took a crack at it, and he was impressed with it, and we were all impressed with it, and you're doing all kinds of stuff now. I mean, you're building lists for objects, you're designing engines, you're doing economy stuff. I mean, you guys are all over. It's the triumvirate of the design team along with Chris that are cranking it out.
We are doing. I mean, right now, Chris is heading it up. Rob is leading us, but so it's really me, Rob, and Nate in the trenches every day right now.
Yep.
And
there's another one coming. We're hiring another designer.
Yeah.
So we've got level designers to go. So, you know, if you're a designer out there and interested in joining the Star Citizen team, get your resume in. Go to cloudimperiumgames.com and check out the job section. Look for it there, or send an email into HR@cloudimperiumgames, and that will come right to my desk. And if it's good enough, I'll pass it through. If it's not, Ben 13. Sorry. Of course, if you have a Star Citizen card, it automatically gets through. Or not, just an account page, just saying. Anyway, I want to thank you, brother, for joining us here today. Thanks a lot to the subscribers and pledgers out there. Big ups to you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a game, or we wouldn't have a show like this to do.
Totally.
I'm loving the green on your shirt, by the way. Coming up next week, we've got a really big show coming up. Chris is in town next week. He'll be here to do the forum feedback. He's going to be answering questions. We always love that. So save up some good questions, get them in there, get some videos in for that. We'll have 3D artist Jeff Cabot sitting right there. Jeff's kind of new to the team. He's been about 8 weeks here, and he's doing a good job. He's been working on some of the 3D stuff. Yep. Later on today, you have the new jump point coming out for subscribers. Get ready for that. It looks fantastic. You guys are going to love it. We're also planning the 24-hour live stream for June 28th. Now, what's important about that is, well, everything. You're just going to have to wait to see. We're doing the last 24-hour live stream we did, we kind of had a loose schedule, and we were just, did it, and it was fun, and it kind of off the cuff. It actually ended up launching this show. This one, we've got a lot more to reveal. We've got a lot more stuff to show people. We're gonna reveal stuff all along the way. So, and we'll be revealing things, if you miss it once, we may show it again later, so you'll catch it up to later. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want you, whenever we post something online, it's going to come right to you, to your desktop or your email, and you'll get all the latest stuff there. And don't forget the after show, Wingman's Hangover. About 15 minutes after the show, we'll discuss in chat roll on the RSI site what you liked about the show, what you didn't like. Did we ramble? Did we not ramble? Of course we rambled. That's
I'm a rambler.
I'm a rambler. And and just come on in there and hang out. It's about 15 minutes after the show. It's kind of like a radio call-in. You can ask direct questions. We can chat. I love it. We just do a little broadcasted live at that point. And remember, if you want your stuff featured on Wingman's Hangar, like Pleasure's logo, right? Or Matt Foss's music, which is in the credits, send it in. We just might use it. Where are we going to see him? In the verse.
Spring, saw people, places, and things. We barely had arrived. Friends asked us to describe the people, places, and every last thing. So we unpacked our adjectives. I unpacked frustrated.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. We're wasting our time.
Reached in and found the word worst. Then I picked soggy and next I picked froggy and then I was ready to tell them my tale. 'Cause I'd unpacked my adjectives. Adjectives are words you use to really describe things. Handy words to carry around. Days are sunny or they're rainy. Boys are dumb or else they're brainy. Adjectives can show you which way. Adjectives are often used to help us compare things. To say how thin, how fat, how short, how tall. Things who are tall get taller. Boys who are small can get smaller. Till one is the tallest and another's the smallest of all. We hiked along without care. Then we ran into a bear. He was a hairy bear, he was a scary bear. We beat a hasty retreat from his lair and described him with adjectives.
Whoa! Boy, that was one big ugly bear.
You can even make adjectives out of the other parts of speech, like verbs or nouns. All you have to do is tack on an ending, like ick or ish or eric. For example, this boy can grow up but still have a boyish face. Boy is a noun, but the ending ish makes it an adjective. Boyish. That describes his face. Get it? Next time you go on a trip, remember this little tip. The minute you get back, they'll ask you this and that. You can describe people, places, and things. Simply unpack your adjectives. You can do it with adjectives.